Hi, I'd like to start my story out. I got bullied since grade school, and I basically um, hated myself for the longest time. And like back when I was like 15, 16, I got all upset, tried to kill myself because of bullying. This was 15, 16 years ago. And I just didn't like myself back then because I felt worthless, and I didn't feel like I need to live. And all of a sudden, um, I got into high school and it got even worse. A bunch of people used to bully me, make me push Penny down the hall, basically like hurt hurt my feelings. I felt like I didn't even want to be there. Then all of a sudden, one time, uh, a guy throws a book at me, and I go. My anger just got out of control, and I started hitting him and hitting him and hitting him, and it felt good for a second, but it's not. I'm just into like their game, so I got expelled for that, and uh, he didn't, and uh, I just had enough with bullies back in high school, and eventually I started working, feeling better about myself. Started like getting better. Had my son, and then all of a sudden, about 5 years later, uh, I am working with one of my high school bullies, and oh boy, I was like, oh man, he's working here. I'm going to get bullied again. I figure he might have changed, but he didn't. But eventually, I kept on working, and he was on a different position than I am. And all of a sudden, I ended up being promoted to the position where he's at. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh no, here comes a bunch of trouble, which happened. Basically, he made me all upset. He kept on bullying me, threw boxes at my face, and I told my boss, and my boss is like, "Are you provoking him?" And I'm like, "No." And they said they'll look into it, and all of a sudden, a couple of years later, they didn't know, but he was doing drugs for the longest time there with another coworker that quit, and then he then a few others got uh, hired, and all of a sudden it's like he started doing drugs with one guy, and I felt like I was like, it's just those two doing drugs, and I'm not. I'm doing all the work, and all of a sudden, a couple months later, one of my, which now is my buddy, he got hired, so I started feeling a little bit better, and all of a sudden, uh, about 4 or 5 months later, my buddy told my boss about what's happening, and all of a sudden, they got my bully. Uh, Basically, came in, left after he went on vacation. All of a sudden, the next day, his hours got cut, and uh, my buddy's like, "Oh, don't worry, everything's going to change pretty soon," which I'm actually happy that I had someone on my side. But yeah, my bully came in all of a sudden, threw a chair, almost hits me, and all of a sudden, uh, my boss comes in and says, "So what's happened here?" And all of a sudden, um, the bully had a hand in his keys, and he got fired. So I'm glad stood up to my bully. It feels so good. You'll never uh, you never get a feeling of what happens inside your it's like butterflies in your stomach. But it's better off ignoring your bully and just being yourself. That's all you have to do.